Alright guys, here we go. The second game, this time on a daybreak between TaeJa and Lucky. The Terran player is ahead with 1-0. Lucky, on the other hand, is starting at the top right of the map. We have him in the blue color once again. TaeJa in the red to the bottom left. The last game on the Tomb Valley was sure very interesting. Two times we had Lucky with an awesome amount of banelings and zerglings just trying to go for it, but he really, well, the first attack didn't really accumulate anything. He didn't kill a lot of units. He wasn't able to take down the SCVs of his opponent. There were beautiful marine spreads by TaeJa. He tried to make sure that Lucky could not kill his army, and indeed he could not. The attack was in favor of TaeJa, and he already has the +2/+2 upgrades, while Lucky was still on 1-0 trying to get the second attack upgrade. So this was very well done by TaeJa, and he capitalized on it. Lucky, so although he did a lot of damage with the second attack, in the end had to GG, as TaeJa was in a position to kill his army. There was nothing that he could do. Worst case scenario for TaeJa would have been to lift some of his buildings and fly them away while killing everything in the base of Lucky. So yeah, that was a quite interesting game, and this puts the Slayers player ahead, TaeJa, with a 1-0 lead in this best of 3 here at the GSL Code. Make sure to follow at GOMTV at Twitter in order to get updates on the GSL streams, and of course also get some updates about the casters and the second stream. Today we have Moletrap and Wolf casting on the main stream, and well, if you want to follow me, you can always add me at Color at Twitter, and I'm currently casting the B stream for you guys, so doing a little bit of solo casting while Lucky is now getting his hatchery. Lucky with a hatch, now getting the gas as well in his main base, and after the gas he's starting with a pool. So cutting a couple of corners, definitely something that you can do on daybreak. There's no kind of proxy barracks play going on, there's no kind of double barracks play, so that's definitely something that he can do, should do, and is doing right now, building a little bit of a later pool. Now let's see what TaeJa is going to follow this up. Usually on this map, if you're not going for a very fast expansion as a Terran player, you try to use the reactor factory Hellions, and so far it looks like this is exactly what we're going to see out of TaeJa. We're just waiting for the 50 gas accumulator, and then there should be the reactor. Here we go, reactor being built. And of course the scouting information with the SCV. TaeJa is well aware of the expansion of his opponent. He's aware of his pool timing. Had a quick scout into the main base. And we already have the 100 gas that you need in order to build the metabolic boost. Something that Lucky, interestingly enough, is not doing. Here we go. Waited for the minerals. He built the queens and a bunch of zerglings before he started with his metabolic boost. And this is going to be a play that it's going to be interesting, because I'm not quite sure what Lucky is going to do. He might well go for some kind of baneling and roach attack. This is something that we've seen occasional times on daybreak, and it's definitely very strong, especially when you don't prepare for it in time. Here's the expansion for TaeJa, so time will tell if Lucky is going to be aggressive on daybreak or if he tries to get a third base and goes for the macro game. We already have the Overlord dying to the barracks, and this is something that I find a little bit odd, because this is a play that we've seen by Zerg and by Terran in the early stages of daybreak, that most Zerg players try to position the Overlord on top of this structure that we just saw. And Terran players adapted. They built the barracks outside of the main base, they flew it over and killed with the vision, and with 2 or 1 marines they killed the Overlord, getting an early lead in the game. So most Zerg players just started to route their Overlords to the corners of the map, and to wait a little bit before they got the scouting information that they needed. Now Lucky going for exactly this positioning is a little bit weird to me. I don't know why he did it. Probably didn't expect TaeJa to check the position, but TaeJa did. Wow, but the Zergling entering the main base, realizing that there are 3 barracks, that there's the factory as well, that there's only 1 gas. Quite the blunder by TaeJa. This should not have happened. This should not have happened at all. And Lucky is just droning it up now. He's on 35. We have him with the first evolution chamber. In the main base he is still on 1 gas. And he is not getting too much gas at that. He's only, there is 2 additional drones entering the extractor. We have the hatchery now, And up to this point, he could have still gone for some kind of roach build and, of course, the banelings, but he decided to play the standard game. We have the hatchery for him. He already spread a creep towards his ramp. And there are the Hellions. This is exactly where they should be. So yeah, kind of interesting. Let's see what TaeJa is actually able to do. I don't expect him to be all too aggressive. We already have queens. We have the spine crawler in position. That's the double gas. It's natural now. So he gets a lot of gas. He will start his tech very soon. And with 4 gas, you can go for some kind of Mutalisk play, for example. You can get really aggressive. And Daybreak is a map where we've seen all kind of late game unit compositions. We've seen Brood Lords, a combination that I really like with Infestors, and I think it's superior to the Ling, Infestor and Ultralisk build that we see occasionally. You can certainly use it on Daybreak, but my personal opinion is that the Brood Lords are still the better unit because you can just control the middle of the map. You can given the fact that you control the middle of the map and at least one of the 2 Xanaga watchtowers, you can put pressure onto the 2 bases in the middle. You can put pressure onto the base at the bottom as well as put some pressure onto the base at the top. So controlling the map is a lot easier with Brood Lords than it is with Ultralisks. We have the Baneling Nest now being built for Lucky. Just a precaution, getting the armor upgrade. Still no 3rd base attempt. In the main base of his opponent, though, we see the first few medivacs. We have already the stim being done. No combat shield, though, and TaeJa is moving out with a bunch of marines, and Lucky will be ready for it. He has a lot of Zerglings. He has Banelings. Baneling speed coming up now. And let's see what he's investing his gas into. There's the scan, a little bit too early. Can't see any follow-up structure. Baneling speed is about to... well, not really about to be done, but at least it's been started. There's the Overseer morph in the back, trying to get an idea of what's happening in the Terran player's main base before starting his follow-up tech. And at the same time, TaeJa is now getting aggressive. He is moving in with his marines, but there they are, the Banelings and of course the Zerglings as well, catching all of the Hellions. Nice pickup though by TaeJa. Once again moving in, the marines trying to take down the Banelings. Nice target fire, but the attack has not done a lot of damage. Very well defended by Lucky. Trying to drop into the main base now, just faking his opponent out a bit with an empty medivac and scouting ahead. There are still no tech structures, no additional tech structures for Lucky, and he didn't get a second base, a 3rd base, that is a second expansion, which is a bit weird. I expected a drone to head out now. Let's have a quick look at the harvester count, 53 to 51. He doesn't have too many harvesters either. There's still 1 Hellion in the back. We have the combat shield about to finish. 31 Banelings. He's going once again for a very, very Baneling heavy attack. Banelings and Zerglings, the key units for Lucky once more. Will they be more effective this time? It is a 2-base pressure play by Lucky. The 3rd base for TaeJa is already done. And here come the Banelings and the Zerglings. He's moving in and wow, he's going up the ramp. Siege mode has been done. He's busting through, only 1 tank available, and the tank is going to be killed by the Zerglings, but most of the Banelings are already dead. A beautiful split by TaeJa. Once again, is Lucky able to do enough damage to his opponent? I actually doubt it a little bit. Seeing how many Banelings he already lost, I have to give the advantage once again to TaeJa. He played so well in this engagement. His splits are just beautiful. Marine King would be proud. Slayer's Boxer probably is. His disciple is doing really well in this 2nd game on Daybreak. 3,700 resources lost for TaeJa, only 2,400 for... sorry, the other way around. 3,700 for Lucky and only 2,400 for TaeJa. And we still don't have a follow-up. Here comes the 2nd wave, the 2nd attack. Will this be the nail in the coffin for TaeJa? Or does he hold again? If he does, the game is basically over with no follow-up push. But Lucky is doing a lot of damage. There is a tank in the back. Lucky is going back with the Banelings. He's trying to make sure that the Banelings don't die to the tank fire. And this time it looks like TaeJa is not going to hold. He only has 16 Marines left. He's taking down a lot of banelings and zerglings, but there have been a lot of losses, 25 SCVs in total. The main base is still under assault. The Marines might be able to put an end to it, but the follow-up is already in progress. There's one command center just trying to make sure that there is no busting through for Lucky this time. Lucky down to 88 supply against 69. The harvester count at 39 to 53. We have 3 orbital commands though, and here comes another wave of banelings, 28 of them trying to bust through. Tanks in the back. Oh my god, is the siege tank able to kill the banelings? Oh, most of them are already dead and gone. TaeJa is holding. He's holding again. I don't believe what I'm seeing. TaeJa is able to defend again. This is incredible. 3 orbital commands for TaeJa. Even though he's behind in his harvest account, he is now able to use 3 mules to his advantage. And Lucky, he's droning up. He's trying to get additional drones now while finally using the follow-up transition with the infestation pit. But is it really enough? There's another wave of zerglings. Is he going for another bust attempt? Wow. 46 harvesters against 65 now, and TaeJa is moving out. Resources lost 10,000 for Lucky, only 6,000 for Slayer's TaeJa. He is on 3 bases. He is using his mules. There's no run by Lucky so far. Has not scouted that there's a 3rd base already. A small drop attempt at the bottom, trying to deny the base. There are banelings and zerglings ready for it though. And this is just, wow, those splits were magnificent. TaeJa with a beautiful micromanagement. He did so well, and now he's back to 37 Marines. He's 120 supply against 100, so he's 20 supply ahead. We have him with 4 tanks and 6 medivacs. He is just in the best position ever now. After defending against his opponents, pushed 2 times, taking down so many banelings, he's now in a position where he has the superior attack. Even though Pathogen Glance is about to finish, we don't have any infestors whatsoever, and he's moving in. A couple of overlords are misrallied, 2 of them die, and now supply blocking Lucky. This is not a good day for the Zerg player for Team FXO. Lucky is in trouble. 1-1 upgrades for the Marines of TaeJa, +2/+2 about to be done. And here comes the attack. And the GG, upon realizing that this game is over, Lucky leaves the second game, and Slayer's TaeJa takes the best of 3 with 2-0. Alright guys, so this is the last game. This was the last game of the day at the B stream. Lucky yields to TaeJa. TaeJa really with a 2-0 win. I certainly expected the games to be a little bit longer and a little bit closer. Lucky tried the same strategy 2 times, just relying on huge amounts of Zerglings and Banelings, which didn't really work against TaeJa. TaeJa just played too well. His defense was very, very nice. He just had tanks on the high ground in the last engagement, was able to focus down a lot of those Banelings. He played really well, done a good job, and therefore advances in Code A, reaches the next round. Lucky with, well, he wasn't all that lucky today. He loses the series, and this concludes today's games on the B stream. I think there's still a couple of games going on the main stream, so you might just want to switch onto the cast of Wolf and Moletrap in order to catch some of those games. Thanks very much for tuning in again, and well, I'll see you soon. I'll actually see you tomorrow with another set of coding games.